What's going on, my fellow cosplayers? Back again for another episode of Cosplay Time. Today we are modifying another gun for your cosplay, and this is coming from the new Rogue One movie, a Star Wars story. We have today the Cassian Andor blaster. This is the one that's made by Nerf, and it did shoot out the darts and all that stuff, but we're not going to worry about the darts. Yes, if you do prime it, then you got that UV light right there, and it also has sound effects. But anyway, it's a little bit smaller than an actual gun piece. But anyway, we're going to work with it. You want to carry this thing around as you're cosplaying a Cassian character from Rogue One. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to sand off all of this lettering. We have all this legal garb here as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to prime it and we're going to paint it. Alright, so let's get started. It's cosplay time!
Okay, like I said before, we are going to sand off all of these letters. Alright, after the sanding is done and everything is all smooth, time to prime this thing. I'm going to go with my trusted black gray primer. And all you have to do is spray a little bit at a time, just to get one side of the gun coated. And once you finish one side, just let it dry for about 30 minutes. Then flip the gun over, and then repeat the process. And once that's done, just let it dry completely. And after that, we move on to the actual paint job. Today I'm using a Krylon Max color. This is a flat black color that will also dry fast too. And following the same process we used for the priming. Just little sprays here and there until one side of the gun is coated. Then let that dry for about 30 minutes, flip over the gun, and then repeat the process. And once the blaster is completely dry, we move on to the next step, adding the silver touches, using Tester's silver paint. Now what we're going to do is simply paint on the silver. What's good about this paint is that once you paint it with a brush, it still looks like it was spray painted silver. And what I plan on doing with this barrel is pretty simple. I'm going to paint it all silver and then simply do something like a fading effect from black to silver as if it's really weathered. So we're going to take our time with the brushing to make sure everything is coated properly. Alright, when that's all done, you should have a silver finish just like this, on both sides. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to do some dry brushing on the black areas, to add some weathering. This is very simple, all you gotta do is just small dabs with the brush on each corner, to give that effect of scuffing. And once all the weathering has been done to the black areas, it should look like this. And now it's time to add the black weathering. I'm using black acrylic paint for this. All you gotta do is just add some black to the brush. We're gonna dab it on the area where the silver meets the black. And we're going to give the illusion that the black is fading into silver for the heavy weathering. And we need to do this on both sides. Now once we're done with the brushing, we simply just take a plain paper towel and dab it onto the paint to give it that smudged look. The next step is we're gonna weather the silver. Then add the black paint to the brush and then simply brush it on. And then what we're gonna do is take the paper towel and dab it and smudge that black paint in there to get it in on all the nooks and crannies. And it should start looking like this. And simply repeat the process on both sides of the gun. Alright, and after all that, your gun should look like this. And now for the final step. The clear coat. Making sure to seal the paint so that way when you grab the gun, nothing comes off. And alright, the gun is done. The Cassian Andor blaster from Rogue One.
Alright everybody, the gun is done. This thing was a very easy build, didn't take that long. Depending on your time, you should get done with this thing in about a day. Very easy, very cool looking. I mean, I'm still very impressed the way this thing came out. But yeah, that's all it is to it really. Maybe one day I'll decide to cosplay as Cassian myself. But until then, just remember, it's cosplay time.